Okay, so we're going to show you how to take your MIDI information from a keyboard, a live action real keyboard, and send it across the astral plane into Blender to make it do 3D animations. So first off, we have to get that MIDI data from the keyboard over to Blender. And I found it a little bit more creative to take polyphonic MIDI data and then use that to control a lot of different parameters. But the problem is that with the add-on, you can't actually take each individual note and do something with it when you play polyphonic things. So first we have to set up a polyphonic to monophonic MIDI splitter basically in Ableton Live, so that it takes all the notes that you play on top of each other and sends them out to separate channels. And then in Blender, we can take that MIDI information from each separate channel and do something with it. So we're going to use this cool little plugin from Max for Live called MIDI Channel Note Allocator. And basically you just take it, you put it in a track like this. We're going to make a new track and we're going to take the MIDI channel allocator, we put it in here like this. We take MIDI from all ends, and then we're going to be like, okay, we want channel 1 to go to output. We want it to go to this loop. This like takes the MIDI from this program and sends it over into Blender. So then we want mono to poly, and we want it to be channel 1, and we want it to go to channel 1. And then you do that. You do that again. You duplicate this sucker, and you say, okay, we want this to be channel 2 and channel 2. And so what you want to do is do monitor in. So basically now we have, say I play 2 notes. It's the first note. This is the second note. I'm holding them down. If you play them separately, they all go down channel 1 port. But if you play 2 notes at the same time, that one and that one both go together, and you hold one down and you play another one, goes like that. So that sends stuff to MIDI channel 1 and channel 2. Super simple. So you're going to want to take those things and make 16 of them. So I've already done that. I made 16 channels. So it basically takes the polyphonic. If I play 16 notes at one time, it takes all of these and then spreads them out across separate channels. So here's me playing, let's see, I'll play 2 4-note chords on top of each other. So now I have all these separate MIDI channels all the way up to channel 8 or 9. That's 9 notes at one time. If I hold them all down, all the notes down as I go up, you see them do this. Or if I play them separately, they're all going down channel 1. Okay, so that's how to get them all going down across the town to the other Blender in the town square. Okay, and now we're going to build our Blender file from the ground up. From the ground up. We're gonna go from the ground up. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of this little guy here. We don't really need this camera or this light because we're going to add this cool little modeling guy I found named Scotty. His name is Scotty. And all we want is the objects. And we don't really want all these, but we're going to add them anyway. Here he is, Scotty, in all of his cool glory. So one thing that's interesting about Scotty is that he has all of this armature going on. And he has all these ball things here. And so what we want to do is, for me, it makes it easier if I just join these two things together. Okay, and we are going to mess around with Scotty's bones real quick just to show. Click this thing up here, that's one of his bones. You can do this, push G, you can move it all around. You can click his joint. Oops, we don't want that, we want to rotate. Yeah, and you click each joint, you rotate it. Look at that. Wow. So this is the fun things that you can do with our buddy Scotty. You can make him do all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, what the heck is that all about? Oh, let's see. Swing. Bada, 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 bada. All right. So, it's cool. That's cool. Scotty's pretty cool. So we have to use this AddRoutes add-on that takes MIDI information from another program and sends it in to Blender. So it's in here. It's actually already added, but I'll show you what it looks like. It's called AddRoutes. Yeah, and then also it makes a panel over here on the in. You push in, and then it has these two panels. So we want MIDI in coming from this internal MIDI port, and then basically you can create like automation, or you can route that stuff to different parameters. So say we want this arm to be, the rotations of this arm to be MIDI information. So make sure we go to the bone here, and this character must be some kind of French character because all of his body parts are, I guess, in French. Avant-bras, main D. I don't know what French that is. Okay, so what we want to do is this first arm. We're seeing that the rotation things. Not sure what W is, but we got X, Y, and Z. So you do this, right click, add real-time route. When you add this AddRoutes plugin, you have this new option when you right click to add a route. So a route takes MIDI information and routes it into whatever parameter we want. And from what I've gathered, you can probably do anything, but I've only done location, rotation, scaling, stuff like that. But so now it does it in there, blah, 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 blah. You have an index. So index is 0 is W, rotation, index 1 is X, 2 is Y, 3 is Z. And if you add the Python tooltips, you can actually see the entire Python object and where it is in the array. So it's kind of cool. And so we're going to take channel 1 because this is the first MIDI note that the first note that we're using, and then we're going to actually wrap this. It's going to go from 0 to 127, which are the notes of the keyboard, but we don't want it to go to 0 to 127 rotations because that would be kind of weird. So let's do -2 and 2, and then we're going to receive. So now we have rotations of this guy based on this one note we do. Look at him wave, look at him wave, look at him wave, look at him wave. So from there you can kind of so it's kind of fun. Now we can be like, all right, let's take this one and let's add a route again to rotation, and we are going to do let's just do index 1 again, which is W, which I'm not sure what W rotation is. Probably be nice, but that's the second note. And then we are going to do the same kind of thing. Let's just do -1 and 1, and it scales it from 0 to 127, scales it to -1 and 1. Very useful. And then receive. So now this is the first note. Those are all separate notes, but now if I hold them down, Let's see what's going on. Oh, it's not changing very much. See? So we are going to, let's just do it to index 2. There we go. One note, so it's pretty cool if you just hold one note down, you set the angle of this guy, and then the second note's now going to set the angle of this second thing. So I can also do something where I have, that's the first note, first channel, and then this second one. Okay, so that's cool. Let's make this one the third guy. We're gonna add a real-time route. We're gonna do, let's do the X rotation of this one, and we are going to do channel 3, the third note, and receive. Ooh, look at that. Oh, we didn't warp it, so now it's gonna be too big. Let's do -1 and 1 rescale. Okay. I gotta hit 2 notes, and then I'll do this third note. Why don't we try this actually? Let's do this, and let's do the same thing, the arm, and let's just use the scaling. Let's just see what kind of crazy madness we can get. Probably don't want it to go up to 127, that would be very big, but maybe 3 times the size. So we're gonna receive this. We'll do 2 notes first. That's too hard. There we go. And now let's scale. I don't know if that's going to work. It's actually, it needs to be like, yeah, it needs to be much more actually. So let's do it to 30. Okay. Paddle hands, he's paddle hands. But I'm actually holding 3 notes there, so 2 notes. This, we're going to make an array. Look at him now. But we don't want to do relative, we want to do the constant. And then we can do a few of them like this. Maybe 5, maybe 6. And then we'll do another one of them. We'll do constant offset of y. Maybe make a couple of them there. Now we have a dancing army of people. Let's do, these guys are a little bit too close. You guys gotta get a little farther apart. Okay. Kind of looks silly when they're all lined up just perfect, but let's see. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm making a little box, and I got my army over here, and I want to make a box around all of them, so I got to make a left wall, but actually it's going to be the back wall, and it takes a second to rotate it the right way, but, you know, that's kind of how things go. You never really know which way you need to rotate it. So you can scale it up. You look at that. We kind of got a little dance floor situation going. We got to make the left wall, which is nice, you know. Then what about the right wall? Well, here we go. There's the right wall. Then a cool trick that I found is that you can add your own colors to the viewport shading. So you don't have to render stuff inside of the... This is look dev mode, and it kind of takes more processing power. I have a little laptop, so if I want to make it look cool and then do things real time, I'm just going to add some color to each one of the things. I already was feeling on processing power. Also, let's just add some donuts, you know? Why don't we just add a couple donuts in the back, just for fun? Why not? I made these in another tutorial, and I'm just going to pay homage to the YouTube gods before me and put some donuts in there. So these donuts will also be controlled by MIDI. And luckily we can still change the texture colors of each one and make them metallic surface. Do it like that, do it like that. Maybe get a little bit of donut looking thing on the inside. No, that's better. Much better. Change the plate, and then let's make an array. A couple of these things. It's kind of takes a second for my computer, but it's okay. And then we can rotate it. Make that little route and have a little good time route mechanism here. We're gonna make it rotate as always. I hid all the rest of my army because they were just too much for me right now. And so changing the rotation so that it goes from -90 to 90 and do a little Z rotation. And now I have the whole thing. It's going to the background. Now let's jam.